So it's being reported that Han Solo is coming into the Mandalorian universe. Now this doesn't mean that he has to be in the Mandalorian, he could be in any of the Filoniverse shows. This includes the Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Rangers of the New Republic, and of course the Mandalorian. Now this is being reported by sources that are very trusted, one of them being Daniel Richmond, but there's also 2 other trusted sources that are reporting this. But while these sources are very trusted, I wouldn't take this as gospel, but it's about as close as it gets. The Mandalorian finale was a huge hit, and obviously most people are talking about Luke's cameo in the finale more than anything else. This is most likely what has sparked the idea in Lucasfilm's mind to bring another original trilogy character back into the Mandalorian universe. But to be honest with you, I'm really not sure if this is a good idea or not. I'm leaning a little bit towards not. I think we have already seen a lot of Han Solo throughout the years, and he is kind of a less is more type character. The more we learn about Han, the less interesting he will become. Let's keep most of his story a mystery. We don't need to bring back every character and everything. As always, the big question around all of this is the casting of Han. Now they allegedly used de-aging technology on Mark Hamill for Luke's appearance in The Mandalorian, which I don't really believe they did, but whatever, let's give them the benefit of the doubt for that. If, and only if, Han's role will be a cameo like Luke's was, they could possibly de-age Harrison Ford. Now, I was not a fan of the CGI that was on Luke's face. I think it was really bad, but because it was Luke, it didn't take me too far out of the episode. If they brought Han back in the Mandalorian timeline, that's about 20 years before The Force Awakens. I say just let Alden Ehrenreich do it. You would probably have to put some makeup on him to make him look a little bit older, but it would look a lot better than de-aging Harrison Ford. Personally, I think Alden did a pretty good job at playing Han Solo. It's extremely hard to bring an iconic character back, especially with a different actor, and have people like it. And yeah, Solo struggled, but I think Alden was good. And I think he would only get better over time if they let him keep playing that role. And people forget that Kathleen Kennedy worked her magic for Solo like she did for so many other Star Wars projects. And she made the director leave halfway through filming or something like that. So it's not on Alden that that movie didn't succeed. But surely if they wanted to bring Han back, the best way to do it would be to have him in the Lando series. The Lando series is supposed to jump back and forth in time, so it's honestly perfect to just have Alden play him in that series. They could either have Alden play him in the past and just not have Han in the future scenes, or, hear me out, have Alden play him in the past and have Harrison Ford play him in the future. We could have Donald Glover and Alden as the younger versions, and have Billy Dee and Harrison as the older versions. That sounds like a show I would love. Tell me what you would think about that in the comments, I'm very curious. Man, I should really be in charge of Lucasfilm, shouldn't I? If they bring Han back in The Mandalorian, I do feel like it would be getting a little bit too fan servicey, and yes, I know servicey isn't a word, leave me alone, but I just think they are getting a little bit too carried away and shooting us with the nostalgia canon and not focused enough on developing new characters. The Mandalorian Season 2 brought back Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, and Luke Skywalker, and all that stuff is cool and all, but I just want to see more of Din and Grogu. But I do think they have handled the fan service very well so far, and all those characters that I just mentioned were either side characters or served their purpose in one episode and then never returned. I like the way that they're doing the fan service in The Mandalorian, but I am scared that bringing Han back will be a little bit too much. And while bringing Luke back was fan service, it was very much needed fan service. As fans, we needed to see that Luke Skywalker that we all wanted to see since we were little kids, and we were robbed of that in the sequels, and it restored a bit of trust in Star Wars. But why did we need to bring Han back? Han was fine in the sequels. I feel like most of his scenes were actually very impactful. Both of his scenes with Kylo or Ben Solo give me chills every single time. His scene in The Rise of Skywalker was a very good scene, and that movie didn't have many of those. I just don't think there's much you can do to improve the Han Solo character, and I think there's a lot you can do to hurt it. It's just not necessary, and I don't think it should happen. At first glance, this does seem like cool news, but when you dive deeper into the logistics, it just doesn't work. If they end up de-aging Harrison Ford, we could have an Irishman situation where the movements just look totally unrealistic and off. I don't want that, but also if you let Alden play him, the fans will lose their shit, so that's a tough decision to make. The Mandalorian has handled fan service very well so far, but I feel like bringing another original trilogy character back in the show, or any of the shows in the Filoniverse, will just feel like you're taking it a step too far. If Han was to come back into Star Wars, it should be in the Lando show, no question. I hope if they do bring Han back that I'm wrong about all of this, but I don't think I will be. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. What do you think about the return of Han Solo? Do you think he should come back in the Mandalorian universe or in the Lando show, or not at all? Let me know in the comments. If you did like this video, consider checking out some of my other content and subscribing to the channel, and also leave a like on the video. If you want to find me on socials, all the links will be in the description. But other than that, thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you on the next one.